So, hey, Tim DeYoung, BS My friend Perkins, who was a TI, pretty sure he heard voices for a while. He had an unusual life too, and wrote a book like I kind of write, document it every day. It's just hard to distribute as a TI. Anyways, feeling a little nauseous or lightheaded. I'm in the anger frequencies of they know my address. They always know my address. Um, uh, the running tally on this shit, these psychological operations, inducing capital crime remotely. Leave it wide open. People fucking can die. So I'm out, and they're switching out roommates still, trying to get me in fights with the real roommates. I'm out in Redmond, and they do a set design like poison the fucking well, hit all the communication channels like it's been since I've gotten here. Um, And Billy, a guy I knew from high school, was an unaware TI, and he was definitely in the anger frequencies. Ended up charging 10 cops one day after being up all night and throwing rocks at cars that were coming by and probably gang stalking his house. He had a roommate move in, two of them that were just being replaced, and his mom was being replaced by EMF gang stalkers doing Satanism around me. But I'm in this outpatient medical facility. I'm up for a felony for killing a dog inhumanely, which it won't meet the threshold. Plus, I was induced to it. I'm going to plead not guilty by reason of insanity. All the backstory is I'm being driven insane. Um, Anyways, this day, I don't even fucking remember it. Like, I got drunk and Billy charged 10 cops after being up all night throwing rocks at gang stalkers' cars that drove out to Redmond to terrorize him. Um, I blacked out for a while. I was like probably under possession, literally, like from satellites and shit like that. Uh, and there was a guy who was like a child molester that somehow Billy knew, decided to want to move in for set design or whatnot. I literally do not remember. I blacked out and then came to and like misdirected all of what just happened because I wasn't conscious of it onto the dog and sliced its throat very humanely. Grabbed a very surgical. If you're a dog getting killed by another dog, they probably rip out the throat. Mine was much more humane than that. Um, but the child molester guy jumped out the window at some point. I was blacked out. I don't know. He must have came at me sideways, and Billy was like picked up, I think that morning, charging into 10 police officers who I think probably more or less calmly stood and, professionally trained with lethal force, know not to run in front of a bull that's charging. Billy's a big man. But Billy came at me in that house situation. I don't know if it was real Billy or an EMF Billy. If I had a cell phone at the time, I probably would have called the cops. Not that they're going to be helpful getting bad information from like fusion centers and shit like that. I didn't kill the child molester. He jumped out the window. So that of the capital crime intent that they said beforehand was going to happen anyways. And then I get mind controlled and blacked out. I did kill the dog. It was humane. It was talking to me too. The squirrel's being much more loyal. So it was under my control as well. And then the goats were talking to me. The chickens were talking to me. But it could have been a lot. I mean, their mouths would move in front of me and I'd hear voices. So under remote control, the farm animals got put under remote control, pretty sure. And then at the same time, while this shit's going down, they have secret surveillance to look out my eyeballs. So when they dial, that's the tally of the shit show. The Pucam Mafia induced terror. And there's a 14-year-old mind-controlled dog that's better off not being mind-controlled, that's dead. Billy's still alive. Fortunately, his well's still poisoned. For what I know, I told him about it. And the child molester still walks the streets of Salem, whatever his name was, like Guy or something like that, had dreadlocks. But I didn't kill the child molester. Billy didn't kill me. And we have a dead dog. But it was all this anger frequency shit dialed in from like satellites and faking people around you in your home to cause murder. Capital crime. So I've avoided that here in Hillsborough. But I can be mean as hell because I've literally been through hell. I'm not the same class clown that you guys maybe knew from K-12. It's been a rough 15 years. So has it been for a lot of the veterans of the foreign wars. Some get the happy birthday present of going and fighting all those mortal wars, and then they get what I have. Double time. I have a lot of empathy for those guys. We may not be able to talk real well to each other, but it's hell. Yeah, pretty much.